Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about the Faceted Sphere and Bowl pattern. I am going to also share with you Brio Sphere in the large and small size. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the Brio Sphere. This is the original method for Fabriflair, where we were sewing by hand. So you'll see that we offered originally 2 kits that had pre-cut mat board templates in them. And those kits are sewn together by hand. I have a sample to show you the size of the smallest version that is a kit. And this is the Brio Sphere, the small kit. You can see where you can, with this pattern, you can either make a sphere or a bowl. And both these kits, you'll be able to make 2 when you buy the product. So there's enough for 2 in each of the Brio Sphere kit, the large or the small. People loved the hand method, but had also requested a machine sewn method. So that's when we developed the Fabriflair Stabilizer and a series of 6 patterns to complement it. So here you can see the stabilizer, and that is what you will use with one of our 6 patterns that we offer to go with the stabilizer. And the one we're talking about today is the Faceted Sphere and Bowl pattern. And with that pattern, you will have 2 sizes to sew. You will have a size that is this size, and you can see here we made a toy, and we combined cotton with minky. We added fun tabs to make this ideal for a gift, for a baby, child, toy, even. And now I'm showing you the larger size. So this is the largest size in the pattern, and this is the little bit smaller size that you get in the Faceted Sphere and Bowl pattern. I'm going to show you a few of the tips and tricks that we use making this. And what I will mention first is a little bit about the kit method. So if you're sewing by hand, one thing that we recommend is that you add a layer of batting when you are wrapping, before you wrap your fabric to the rough side of the template, okay? So you're adding a layer of batting, and then you're hand stitching right sides together, and you can see, you can get an idea of the process by just watching me there. And then again, we will be stitching around this edge, okay? So this is actually our kimono line of fabric, and you can see how much fun we had fussy cutting it. So these spheres are wonderful for fussy cutting to get a really unique visual effect. So this is the mat board template. Now I'm going to show you a stabilizer version. So with the stabilizer, we have this version. It's a Joel Dewberry line, and you can see again what I'm talking about with some fussy cutting that we did on the exterior of the bowl. And the nice thing about the stabilizer is the fact that you will sew. And what we'll teach you when you buy the pattern is a little bit about the hinge stitch. And that's what you'll be using to sew right sides together along the wrapped edges of the interfacing by machine. So again, you'll be sewing right along this edge, putting your pieces together. You will eventually turn one side right side out, and then that will allow you to be able to sandwich and make the bowl. I love the detail here of the contrasting gold stitching, and that gives you an idea of what the finish is of that hinge stitch I'm talking about, okay? Now, I want to share with you a little more about fussy cutting. this is an example of one that we're working on right now. And this is a fabulous fabric line from Heather Ross called Kinder. And Maggie helped me and is working on this sphere. We're probably going to make it into a little toy ball. And you can see the fun she had on fussy cutting. And by the way, she found my initials right there, the AB. Just darling fabric. And I thought this was another fun example of what a darling fabric line this is. Check out this cute little girl cutting out paper dolls. But so keep in mind when you're making these, it's always fun to custom cut. Sometimes we call it fussy cutting, areas that you want to highlight. So once we finish that, we'll share that with you on our Instagram page. How about that? So that's Heather Ross. I'm going to share with you also a sphere that has multiple designers that and fabrics that we used on this. We added some metallics. This is this birch. This is a Moda from Gingerbeer, I believe. So just a combination of Leslie Jenkins fabric, a metallic. I believe this is from Robert Kaufman. So you can go for a modern look. And people ask me, okay, what do you do with these faceted spheres? Well, everything from a bookend to a centerpiece on a table to a doorstop, so many possibilities. The sphere is really a great pattern in the Fabriflair line to start with too, because it is pretty simple and fast to make, not a lot of difficult steps in this one, and not as time consuming. So think about it for gift giving. And that's what's fun too, is to think about the customization you can do. I'm going to start out with an example of some of my favorite fabric. This is a Zen Chic line that was out from Moda a year or two ago, and we loved the combinations. And what you can see here is that if you buy a pre-cut 10 by 10 charm pack fat quarters like I showed you earlier in the Heather Ross from Wyndham, you can create a coordinated fabric sphere or bowl. And we added a little, what you're hearing in here is we added a little bell rattle into this. So this would end up being a fun toy gift to give. So pre-cuts, keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that you can do things for the holidays with fabrics. So here we have an example of a darling line. This is Sandy Gervais, again, Moda. And this is a custom cut, fussy cut. I love this fabric line. Eat, drink, and be merry, I believe. You can see the handwritten words here. So this is another fun idea. Fill it with candy, fill it with nuts. A great little decoration to put out for Christmas on your table. Well, and we don't want to forget Halloween. And we're going to talk about one of my favorite designers, Patrick Lose, who originally started designing patterns with Indigo Junction many years ago. So this is one of his fabric lines recently that is out. He has several fabulous lines. So here you can have some fun with a little Halloween decoration. We know everybody's decorating for Halloween almost as much as we're decorating for Christmas. So beyond holidays, how else might you customize your Fabriflair sphere? I like sports. I don't know if you do, but if you do or you don't, I bet you know somebody who loves a team or a school. And what we're going to talk about now is my favorite baseball team, which is the Kansas City Royals. And this is a fabric that I ordered. And you can see where I added, actually, this is an upcycled version because I used men's shirting. So I bought some shirts at the thrift shop on half off day in the blues and colors that I thought might work. And this is that combination. And actually, I think our friend Chandler made this one for us. So That is your team spirit option. Then think about using Fabriflair as a way to showcase treasured fabric, maybe a treasured textile in your family, maybe ties. So whether you're making ornaments or Fabriflair spheres, bowls, stars, the fabric in men's ties can be fabulous combining for making Fabriflair. This is actually one that's not a machine sew, it's hand sewn. It's one of the kits with the templates. And I just wanted you to see just how much fun it is and how nicely these fabrics coordinate. And the silk you'll find is just fabulous in the thrift shop in men's ties. So this is a great way to use it. Also, maybe some of you have a button collection. You know, I have a button collection because maybe some of you know about my book Button Wear I did a few years ago. Well, when I had buttons left over from that project, I got into my button box and pulled out some of my favorite red and green buttons for the holidays. And this again is a Patrick Lose fabric line. And you can see just how much fun we had with these, adding these buttons. And we actually did not stitch all the way through. We chose to make faux stitching and then glue gun these to the sphere. And actually my friend Deb at Curious Sofa, I believe, added these to the sphere for me. So have a lot of people helping us bring together all these fabulous samples to share with you. In fact, another woman that helps us is named Marilyn Gash, and she does a lot of wonderful wool applique for us. She took our sphere and added this wonderful wool applique and pearl cotton design to each face of the bowl. And then it combined it with a fun batik. So think about applique and embroidery as another way to customize your spheres. And we have a version here that I just think is fabulous. I don't know if we can get the sparkle happening, but there are beads at each corner of the sphere's faces. And you can just see how much fun combining the fabrics, picking your beads. The whole experience of Fabriflair can really be so unique to your style and what you like, or it can be a perfect way to make a special gift for somebody. So I'm also going to mention Robin, who does embroidery for us. She created this sphere ornament, stunningly creative version of the kit. So this is the smallest size, again, just to remind you, that would come in the Brio Sphere small kit. And she ended up adding embroidery before she applied the fabric to the mat board templates. She beaded and embroidered each face and then added just an accent of stitching. Maybe we have a Crossroads denim thread that's a line of ours that has a 12 weight thread, and the 12 weight will give you a more defined finish of your stitching. She also added a cute little tassel with some beads and sequins. And this is Paintbrush Studios, their solids line. So there are also a wonderful solids in quilting cottons in your local quilt and fabric store to source for unique ornaments. And I'll finish up with, last but not least, the traditional Christmas ornament. And again, we added the beading. This is Patrick's line. And then I'm going to show you one more traditional line. And this is Maywood Studio. And some of you may be able to be familiar with their fabrics as well. So no matter if you're modern or more traditional, you can definitely find a creative outlet with Fabriflair and a wonderful way to make custom gifts for family and friends. Thanks for watching this pattern review. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to jump over to Indigo Junction's website and register for our e-newsletter so you'll keep up to date on all the new Fabriflair designs that we release. You will find links in this description to lead you to our website as well as our Facebook group and Instagram. Thanks for watching.